Hi, this is Katie, and thank you for joining me on the My Senses, My Space podcast. And today I wanted to talk about gifting wins. And wins, I will say, if you're new to the podcast, are not about winning or achieving, or I guess wins aren't winning, huh? Wins aren't about achieving or scoring points or anything in that realm. Wins, I define them in this podcast series anyway, is how you feel afterwards, how that goal or that certain thing that you wanted to accomplish helps you feel afterwards. And it's not about one-upping, it's not about your team winning, it's about feeling like that was for me and that feels really good. So when I'm talking about gifting wins, I know the holidays are upon us and this is a time to give gifts to each other. And we also give gifts year round. So you can really look at this year round as well. But I know when we can have a certain gift in mind for someone or trying to come up with ideas, there can be a lot of anxiety around that, of trying to choose the perfect thing. And there can also be a lot of guilt for the money that we're spending. And also, is it the best gift for someone? And that's what I really want to dive into. So first is like just selecting a gift for someone. Sometimes we really want to feel like, I want to give that perfect gift, right? So first of all, there is no perfect gift. I just want to say that. What a gift is something coming from your heart to someone else. And first, you can't control how the other person is going to feel about it, or what they're going to do with it or anything. Once that gift is out of your hands, it is done. And you may get lucky and get to see them wearing the gift or using the gift or something like that and really appreciating it. But we also have to know that as soon as we buy it and wrap it and are handing it off, it is out of our hands. And this can be for charitable gifts too. We cannot judge where everything is going unless something like is criminal going on with a charity or something. Once you give money to a charity, it is up to them. If you give money to someone else, it is up to them what they do with it. And we have to let go and we cannot judge what they do with it. They were asking that out of need. We provided that, and that is it. That is done. But when we're selecting something, we can often think about like, oh, well, that person is really into frogs. And so I want to give them something with a frog on it. And I don't know if you've been on the receiving end of that, but you end up with a house full of frogs and don't really understand why. Sometimes there are some people who are totally into certain animals or symbolism of things, and they really enjoy that. But maybe ask a question and see like, hey, I know like you really love frogs because I look around your house and you have frogs everywhere. Is that something that you really like? Would you want more? And a person can say yes or no. There can be like, yes, oh my gosh, I love them. Or, you know what, I think I have enough frogs right now. And maybe they put them out for obligation purposes. They felt like they were obligated to show them off because they were gifts. And that's something they need to deal with. But it can be really hard to receive yet another frog gift. We can ask people, what do they want and need right now? And I think it's really important to ask what people need, because gift giving can really feel like it's just a want, but we can also fulfill a need that someone has because they might not have the funds to actually fulfill a need, especially this time when we're going through some, inflated prices all over the world, where it's really hard to meet basic needs for a lot of people. And so asking somebody like, hey, would a grocery gift card really mean a lot to you right now? And oftentimes something that they really need, or like a gift card to have their kids get new shoes or a warm coat or something like that. So you can't always rely on the charities to have the right sizes of things or to tend to the exact needs of kids, especially for those who have more needs that the charities may be overlooking. Asking like what would really help you right now, and having like groceries could like totally make their month, right? That they were able to stretch things even further. Like, should the society be at the brink of that? No. But what we can do in a small way and to help people is to ask what they really need, and ask charities, like, what are people asking for? Are there any kinds of special toiletries, or getting socks or underwear or anything for them that, or feminine products, or hair products for all different kinds of types of hair, making sure that they are looking at their whole community and what their needs are. So really like asking, what is it that people need right now, and how can I gift something that would make a lot of meaning to someone? We can also feel like we're rushing around to make those last minute gifts count, or to add up and to feel worthy about things. And I do want to get into that, but thinking about how maybe now you can come up with a plan of where you want to gift, because rushing around is going to cause like this hurried feel where you may not be making the best decisions for yourself or for others. And so thinking about things now, making a list of just who you want to give gifts to and sticking to that. I know every once in a while it'll come up like, oh, I forgot about this one person and they gave me a gift this year. First, know that you don't absolutely have to give one back. You can always say, oh, I was surprised. I didn't know we were exchanging gifts and that wasn't in my plan. And guess what? The other person would be totally fine with that, because, if it's their first time and they just kind of sprung it on you, I don't think there's an obligation that you need to give back in that instance. But addressing it and saying, look, I understand I received a gift from you, but I do not have that capability of doing that this year. Okay, move on. That is your reality. And I want you to stick to what feels the best for you this year. And that's what I want to get into, is looking into the budget of what you can spend and looking at how do you want to feel in January and February, so you don't feel guilty or shame from any of the gift giving. Or if it's a different time of year, like looking ahead going, if I spend an extra $100 on this person, will this almost break me? Because I think they are expecting something of that amount. But then in the long run, would something smaller suffice and I be happier after that gift has been given? So looking at your budget, taking into account your budget, and this is something I've altered over the years. Like, it's taken me many years to come up with like, here's my yearly budget for all gifts. And that's what really helped. And like, that doesn't help you for this season, but it helps you for next year. So I, made a yearly budget of like, okay, here's birthdays, here are holidays, here are special occasions. And I put that all in. And then I was like, okay, if I'm going to feel like I don't need to go overboard, what is kind of my minimum that I want to give, and kind of that minimum maximum. And I save up the maximum, but it also gives me this like, okay, I could spend less if that's okay. And having that budget, dividing it by 12, and knowing that I'm saving away that much every single month so that by the time those roll around, I know what budget that I'm using and I know how much I want to spend on one person. And it can be like $5 over for someone, and then the next person it's $5 under. You can mess with that. But knowing that I'm sticking to that budget, and what I would always get kind of caught up in past years was I would buy my gifts early, I would stick to the budget, and then by the time like the last couple of weeks of December roll around, I'm like, oh, and especially because I have ADHD, I kind of forget that like fresh feeling of buying something for someone. And so I would go, oh shoot, I don't really have something for that person. And I would go and buy something in addition. So I would see the thing that I was saving for them, but I would feel like, oh, that's not enough. When at the time I bought it for them, it was enough. And I've done another podcast episode about, feeling enough. But whatever you're giving is enough. If you're giving anything to anyone else, even if it's a hug, that is enough. And that's what I had to really find some healing about and to really be introspective about is like, even if I give something that's worth $5 to somebody and they give me something that's worth $100, that was enough on both sides. And that was all that we could give. And that's okay. So keeping all of those things in mind, like how do you want to feel after giving somebody something? Or how does it feel to not physically give them something and just to be there for support? It may be that you don't have the budget to really give many gifts at all this year. And if they're true friends, they're going to think you're enough without spending a dime. So know that you're not going to hurt anybody's feeling. Know that stretching yourself and racking up some debt this year is not going to help you come, a few months from now and have them be better friends with you. If they're your solid friends, they're going to know that what you gave was enough. And what you are planning for your budget and for the gifts moving forward is all that you can do. And there can be another year down the road, maybe where you are able to give gifts that you want to, but it still doesn't depend on the amount that you're spending. It's more about thinking about thoughtful things, about what you've noticed that they've been saying about I've really wanted this. And maybe you're only helping them get part of the way to that goal, or maybe it's a gift card towards that goal, but not all of it. Maybe it's just one little thing that you do to bring some light to somebody else and know that you're helping them out, and that can be it. So I hope this helps a little bit. And if you have any anxiety about giving gifts or want to come up with a plan for your own, my contact info is in the description, and I would love to help you out because I don't want you to feel the guilt or resentment around gift giving. I want you to just go, this is what I do, this is what I can, and I'm moving on, and I'm doing something that's beneficial for all of us. So until next time, thank you for joining me on the My Senses, My Space podcast.